Well, what else could happen? What's another lifeline for the elderly to have? The free bus passes, isn't it? Well, they might go too. How can you trust them when Keir Starmer has already flip-flopped on Brexit, on supporting Corbyn, on the winter fuel payments, on taxes on working people, on a big green plan, on free movement, on border security? There's two things people don't like about Sir Keir Starmer.
Live on television, a shocking truth about Starmer has just been revealed. One that promises to leave the nation in disbelief. This damaging decision strikes a major blow to Starmer's reputation, igniting calls for his resignation and potentially setting him up to become the shortest-serving Prime Minister in history. Let's follow this shocking twist and the latest updates from across the country. And before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Following the release of the budget, Conservative leadership candidate Robert Jenrick appeared on live television to issue a strong critique of the Labour Party's financial management. In a blunt denunciation, Jenrick accused Labour of spreading lies and violating the financial commitments they had made to voters. He argued that Labour's recent decision to increase taxes is severely impacting citizens across the nation, sparking widespread public dissatisfaction and resistance. Just 3 months ago, Labour won the election with a pledge not to raise taxes, yet their reversal is now stirring significant public disappointment. Robert Jenrick also expressed concern that Rachel Reid, a key Labour figure, shows signs of dishonesty by failing to keep her promises. During the recent general election, Reid promised not to raise taxes and assured that the government would not allow public debt to escalate. However, the actual outcomes starkly contrast with these commitments, leaving many feeling deceived. It's not just about the tax hikes. Public debt has reached unprecedented levels, yet no specific plan for control has been presented. After the election concluded, Reid cited a severe financial black hole as justification for necessary tax increases to address the budget issues. However, feel that this reasoning is merely an excuse to legitimise disadvantageous policies, with Labour's abrupt shift in financial policy shaking public trust in the government. Jenrick also warned that Labour's tax hikes would not only negatively impact the national economy, but also seriously affect people's livelihoods and income, particularly those in the working class. He contended that this policy would erode public confidence in the government, deepening scepticism about the administration's transparency. Jenrick pointed out that instead of facing financial challenges head-on, Labour seems to be distorting the truth to justify these controversial policies. To delve deeper, it's evident that tax increases and budget management have always been sensitive issues, especially as Labour initially gained voter support by promising financial stability without raising taxes. Reneging on this pledge, for whatever reason, is a major disappointment for the public. Citizens, particularly those directly affected by the tax hike, feel they are bearing the brunt of the government's poor management. According to Jenrick, the government failed to anticipate financial challenges and instead adopted short-term measures, creating an unsustainable facade that increases pressure on the economy and the lives of ordinary citizens. Jenrick's perspective also highlights a significant concern about Labour's transparency and accountability in managing national finances. Transparency and accountability are key pillars in governance, especially concerning public finances. When a commitment not to raise taxes is made, voters expect the government to uphold this promise and pursue sustainable alternatives that protect citizens' interests. The subsequent shift in position using the financial black hole as an explanation could be seen as dishonest and insufficiently convincing, prompting the public to question Labour's transparency. In reality, public trust in the government largely depends on transparent commitments and policy consistency. When trust is eroded, it impacts not only the economy, but also social cohesion. Robert Jenrick's allegations of Labour's dishonesty serve as a warning about the responsibility required in public financial management. This underscores that for sustainable development, the government must ensure transparency and honesty, not only in financial management but also in its commitments to the people. The question now is how the public will react to what he terms Labour's deception. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. In notable news related to the newly published autumn budget, Martin Lewis shared disappointing news for families, especially single-parent or single-income households, as Labour decided not to reform the current child benefits system. Despite a strong campaign for change from Lewis and many activists, the government confirmed its decision to maintain the existing child benefits rule, as outlined in the budget documents. Under this rule, child benefits will still be calculated based on individual income rather than household income, which many had hoped would change under new leadership. On his personal forum, Martin Lewis shared that budget documents show the government's decision not to shift child benefits policy to a household income basis. Lewis called this shameful, as it perpetuates a clear injustice in the current system. This disparity is starkly illustrated by the fact that a couple, each earning £59,999, still receive full child benefits, while an individual earning just above £60,000 must repay them. This discrepancy has led Lewis and others to argue that the individual income basis is unfair and does not effectively support struggling families, particularly single-parent or single-income households. Although the benefits system will remain fundamentally unchanged, some administrative improvements will take effect in 2025. From that point, higher income workers will be able to repay child benefits through their tax codes, streamlining the process. Additionally, self-assessment tax forms will be pre-filled with child benefits data to reduce bureaucratic procedures. However, these improvements do not address the inequalities activists have pointed out, with some arguing that the government has missed a chance to reform the system to make it fairer. The decision to maintain the current system has sparked debate and criticism from various quarters. While some argue that this system is unfair and exacerbates social inequality, others support it, believing it encourages households to maintain dual incomes. However, analysts warn of potential negative effects, such as parents reducing their work hours to preserve benefits, which could lead to decreased productivity and impact the economy. Meanwhile, another prominent story is the Prince of Wales' new documentary on homelessness, marking a year since he launched the Homewards campaign. The film has attracted public interest but has also stirred mixed opinions. Many fans and commentators question whether Prince William, coming from a privileged royal background, can truly understand and address homelessness. In the documentary, the Prince expressed that he often feels guilty for not being able to do more to help the homeless. He shared, "After hearing their stories, the feeling of not doing enough haunts me and leaves me unsettled." The Prince explained that developing a specific project is his way of making a meaningful impact and helping those in need. However, the film also addresses the challenges he faces, as many point out that his ownership of multiple properties contrasts sharply with his advocacy for the homeless. Some critics are also concerned that the Prince may be overstepping into public policy, a realm the royal family traditionally avoids. Nevertheless, Prince William has asserted that his only goal is to do his utmost to assist those in need through charitable efforts. To him, his royal role is an opportunity to effect positive change, not just through words, but through tangible actions. The Prince emphasised the importance of doing something practical, expressing his hope to see the homeless smile as their lives improve with the support of the community. The issues raised in both events reflect society's expectations for transparency, accountability, and humanity in public policy, as well as the role of influential individuals in enhancing people's lives. What do people think about the issues we have discussed in today's video? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on the latest political developments in the UK. Thank you all, and see you in the next videos.